Good evening and welcome to De Pere High School and Rod Kowalczyk Court for tonight's ball game between the De Pere Redbirds and the Manitowoc Lincoln Chips. My name is Mark Mino, and we've got the Bank One pregame show. First, we'll run down Redbird alumni update, go through some conference player statistic leaders for both scoring and rebounding, and then give you a little snapshot of who's playing tonight and who's playing later on this week, along with standings. Normally, we would have Todd Borowski, the assistant coach for the girls, up here with a little Q&A, but he is out of town this week, so we are going to bypass that. First, Redbird alumni update. Sophie Hafman, freshman over at UW Eau Claire. She's played in 8 games so far this season for the Blue Golds, averaging 2 points per game. Season high of 4 points against UW Superior and Wisconsin Lutheran. Also had 2 rebounds against Gustavus Adolphus. Claire Bjorgi, who is a freshman at the University of Minnesota Duluth. She started all 13 games so far for the Bulldogs this year, averaging 10.8 points per game with a career high of 23 against Southeast Oklahoma. Season high of 8 rebounds twice and 5 assists twice this season. Scored in double figures in 9 of the 13 games that she started. Avery Borowski, a junior over at St. Norbert, she's played in all 10 games so far, averaging 5.9 points per game. Season high of 11 points against Ripon. Season high of 10 rebounds against Carthage. Oakley Whittick, who is also a junior over at St. Norbert, she's played in all 10 games as well for St. Norbert, averaging 5.8 points with a season high of 13 against Concordia of Chicago, and she had a season high 7 assists against Calvin. Breaking it down, the conference top 10 in scoring, Malia Lemeron from Bayport, averaging 20.8 points per game. Kaya Waldrop, she injured her knee and is actually finished for the season, unfortunately. She was second in the conference at 19 points. Elena Lloyd at Sheboygan South is third at 17.6. Peyton Musial from Notre Dame is in fourth place at 17.4. Olivia Williams also at Bayport with 17 points per game. Sarah Bolchin from Manitowoc, who we'll see here tonight, coming in at 16.6. And Olivia Sprangers with Pulaski at 16.4. And Aspen Abel at Notre Dame at 15.5. Kendall Schultz from Manitowoc also at 14.8 points. And rounding out the top 10, Gianna Garasio from Ashwaubenon at 14.4 points. On the rebounds side, Lily Herbert from Sheboygan South, she's averaging 11 boards per game. Maddie Johnson from Manitowoc at 8.5 rebounds. Kaylin Thompson from Bayport at 8.3 rebounds. Ava Quinchia from Manitowoc, who we will also see here tonight, at 7.6 rebounds. And Melia Lemeron from Bayport at 7.1. Gianna Garasio from Ashwaubenon, 7 rebounds per game. And Jada Rader from Preble, 6.5. Rounding out the last 3, Kendall Schultz from Manitowoc, 5.8 rebounds per game. Olivia Ray from Ashwaubenon at 5.5 boards. And Sarah Bolchin from Manitowoc, rounding out the top 10 at 5.1 rebounds per game. Ball games here tonight, finals from last week Friday. Bayport took down Pulaski 67-59. Sheboygan North all over Green Bay Southwest 81-25. Preble over Manitowoc 52-45. Notre Dame just about doubling up Ashwaubenon 63-32. And De Pere all over Sheboygan South 78-24. Ball games here tonight. Sheboygan South travels to Ashwaubenon. Notre Dame pays a visit over to Bayport. Green Bay Southwest is at Pulaski. And Green Bay Preble is over at Sheboygan North. Coming in the standings so far through 5 ball games, De Pere is on top with a perfect 5-0 record. Both Notre Dame and Preble are second at 4-1. Sheboygan North and Bayport are both tied at 3-2. Manitowoc and Ashwaubenon are both 2-3. Pulaski is 1-4, and Sheboygan South is 1-4, and Green Bay Southwest is rounding out the bottom as they are winless in conference at 0-5. Again, I'd like to welcome all of our listeners tonight here at De Pere High School and Rod Kowalczyk Court for tonight's FRCC contest between the visiting Manitowoc Lincoln Chips and your De Pere Redbirds. Alongside studio engineer All-American Cale Coleman and color analyst guru Greg Bintz, my name is Mark Mino, and we are excited to bring you this evening's game from the Gallagher's Pizza broadcast booth. The Birds improved to 8-3 overall and 5-0 in FRCC play with an easy win last Friday over Sheboygan South, 78-24. James Shelsick, Egan Borowski, and Alexis Spade each had 11, and Aubrey Fisher chipped in with 10. in the win as De Pere opened up a 55-14 halftime lead and cruised to the victory. Prior to that game, the Redbirds hit a few speed bumps over the holiday break as they dropped a couple of competitive games to State Power, Laconia, and Stevens Point at the Century Classic. Abby Tossell had a great tournament as she hit for 18 in each game. After tonight's ball game, the Birds hit the road for games against Ashwaubenon and Preble before hosting Pulaski on January 17th to finish the first leg of the conference schedule. For the Shipson coach Riley Garb, who's in his fourth season at the helm with an overall record of 33-54, Manitowoc started out hot, but they've come into the game losing their last 4 games with an overall record of 6-4 and 2-3 in FRCC play. The Ships are coming off a year where they finished the season at 13-12 and 10-8 in the FRCC play, good for 4th place. They're knocked out of the WIA Regional with a 59-48 loss to DSHA. Each year with Garb leading the program, they've improved their overall win total each year from only 3 back in the 21-22 season to 13 wins last year. A lot of the resurgence of the program has been with the play of 5'5" guard Sarah Bolchin, who averages 16.6, 5 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists. Her backcourt teammate Kendall Schmidt, a 5'4" sophomore, contributes 15, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. Manitowoc lost again to Preble last Friday at the Lincoln Fieldhouse, 52-45, and then they dropped a non-conference ball game to Kettle Moraine on Saturday, 66-43. Birds and the Ships played a couple of times last year with De Pere winning 64-51 at Manitowoc, and then also 61-44 on the return trip to De Pere. Mr. Bintz should have a pretty good ball game here tonight, right? De Pere's 5-0. Manitowoc comes in. Certainly they had a hot start to the season, but they come in at 2-3, but they've got some talent on board that De Pere's going to have to deal with. What's your thoughts and analysis here on tonight's ball game?
Well, good to be with you, Mark.
Yeah.
I think this is a game where each team is trying to still find their identity a little bit. You mentioned some of the streaks and records of this season. De Pere, they're 8-3 overall, and they're 5-0 in the conference. They've won 5 straight conference games to begin the year, which is huge. Manitowoc Lincoln, they started 2-0 in conference. They've lost the last 3 in conference. And not only that, from an overall perspective, they were 6-0 to start the year. They went 1-0, their only game in November, they won. And then they started 5-0 in December, lost the last 2 games in December, and they've began the month of January with an 0-2 record. So really 2 teams trying to find their footing. De Pere lost the last 2 games of December before winning the first game here in January. That was last Friday at Sheboygan South. Pretty lopsided win for De Pere. But again, both teams trying to just find their footing. Manitowoc has been struggling a little bit offensively, despite having some really good playmakers. De Pere has been pretty consistent on defense this year as well.
Yeah. It should be, like I said, it should be a good ball game. Manitowoc, their strength is in their backcourt, so we'll see what Coach Boyle has planned for the squad here tonight to kind of limit maybe some of their touches. So again, starters for tonight, first for the visiting Ships, Sarah Bolchin, a 5'5" junior. Number 32, Lila Spaeth, a 5'8" freshman. Number 10, Kendall Schmidt, a 5'4" sophomore. Number 5, Maddie Johnson, a 5'9" senior. And number 12, Ava Conchia, a 5'9" junior. Same 5 for the Birds. Addie Dwyer, 5'7" sophomore. Egan Borowski, a 5'8" senior. Aubrey Fisher, a 5'9" sophomore. James Shelsik, a 5'8" senior. And Abby Tussle, a 5'5" junior. We'll be back with the officials after the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand if you are able? Remove your hats. Place your hand over your heart. We ask you to remember those who have served and those who continue to serve, protecting the freedoms we enjoy each day as we join together and honor this great nation with the playing of our national anthem.
right, and we've got that out of the way. Officials for tonight's contest are Corey Lund, Nathan Meander, and Brian Witkowski.
And now, led by head coach Riley Garvey, please welcome the Manitowoc Lincoln Shipbuilders. Let's meet tonight's starting lineup at junior, number 0, Sarah Wolchin. A senior, number 5, Maddie Johnson. A sophomore, number 10, Kendall Schmitz. A freshman, number 11, Kala Eichmann. And a freshman, number 32, Lila Spade. Conference titles, 20 regional championships, 9 sectional crowns, 6 state tournament appearances with 3 championships. Redbird fans, it's time for Deep Tier Basketball. Let's meet tonight's starting lineup at guard, 5'6", junior number 2, Debbie Tussle. At guard, a 5'8", senior number 5, Jaden Shestelson. At guard, a 5'8", sophomore number 10.
Project, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Shit goes out, and you better treat wisely. That's my high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's tip-off kid, Evie Gajewski. Tonight's tip-off kid is brought to you by the law firm of Conway, Oleander, and Jerry.
Tip-off kid is Evie Gajewski.
Thank you, Evie, for delivering tonight's
The Pere student. She's getting a nice rubber ball for her efforts. Good job by Evie. All right, we are underway. Tip control by the Redbirds. Dwyer will set up shop over to Tussle. Manitowoc coming out man-to-man. Tussle got tied up in the middle, and she's going to turn that one over. Lincoln on the push. Kendall Schmitz looking for the dump down, and she's looking for Eichmann. Threw that one away. Going to be turnover on the Ships.
Back on that offensive possession by Pere, like the ball movement, they tried to swing it, but Dwyer just kind of lost it inside, and then a couple bad turnovers by each team here to start.
Egan Borowski with the triple. Sorry, had a little audio issue there. As the Birds scratch first here, 3-zip. Pere starting out in man.
Manitowoc, 3-point basket, Sarah Bolton.
As Bolchin nails a triple, we're all tied up at 3 here. Long triple on the way by Tasso, no good. As Schmitz collects, she's going to push down the middle of the floor. Quick swing over to Eichmann. We're going to have a jump ball. As Shelsik got her mitts on that one. It's going to stay right here with Manitowoc. You can see that team speed right out of the gate here, Greg, by Lincoln's guards as they're able to really quickly get up and down the floor.
Yeah, they're very twitchy. They're going to potentially give De Pere some fits down the stretch if they take some time off the clock on offense.
Long skip pass. Spaeth with a triple on the way as Eichmann grabs the offensive rebound. She's going to draw the foul and go to the line for a couple. We'll see who this one's on. As Dwyer picks up her first, team first.
I mentioned during the pregame, Manitowoc's been kind of cold lately on offense, hence part of the reason they're on a 4-game losing streak. They haven't really shot the ball that well, and if you look statistically overall, they're only shooting 32.5% overall, 25% from deep. But they're pretty good at free throws, so getting buckets early, even here 2 free throws, I mean, getting some early buckets can give them some confidence.
Full court pressure as Abby's able to wiggle her way out of that one. Finds Borowski dive into the lane, but that one gets knocked out of bounds by Eichmann. You don't see a whole lot of full court pressure out of other teams pressing De Pere, but certainly Manitowoc looks like they want to try and speed them up a little bit here.
I always love when somebody has the vision during a full court press to look up the floor and find the open person. That time, good defense on Manitowoc, though, to knock the ball away.
Ball tipped by Egan on that inbound, but Shelsik quickly to recover. As Fisher goes on the lane, little runner. She's going to get rewarded by heading the line for a couple.
Manitowoc foul number 11, Kella Eichmann, her first.
Kella Eichmann is going to pick up her first.
Fisher, shooting 2.
That is Manitowoc's first personal. As Fisher is good from the line on the first one. 5-4 Manitowoc, just under 16 to play here first half. And Fisher is money on both as De Pere goes man. Full court pressure. No problem for Schmitz as she's actually going to draw the foul. I'm not sure who grabbed her on that one. If it was Tussle, yep. As Abby Tussle picks up her first, team second.
Both teams kind of giving each other a taste of their own medicine. Full court pressure by each. And each team's gotten to the free throw line already, and now we have trouble.
Schmitz was trying to get going a little too quick as she gets called for steps. You turnover, Manitowoc going to use second turnover here early. Quick trap, no, not quite. Quick trap to Tussle as Dwyer breaks the timeline. Quick up to Egan, easy layup. As Dwyer finds Egan Borowski for the easy deuce as the Birds go up 7-5.
Well, they almost broke the full court press last time with a pass up court, and that time they were able to convert.
Maddie Johnson a little short on that attempt as Fisher clears. Birds quick in the front court. Tassel snap off a triple. Got it. She has stayed hot from distance as Tassel gets her first bucket and the Birds double up on the Ships 10-5.
You mentioned Manitowoc's speed. De Pere has been just as fast.
And there's the answer by Kendall Schmitz as she goes distance 10-8. De Pere.
De Pere has good breakaway speed too. Both teams really.
Dwyer, a little runner as Fisher knocks down the little runner right-handed. She's got 4. As Fisher gives the Birds a 4-point lead. This thing is a little relaxed here in the backcourt. A little token pressure by Tassel. Here comes the run and jump. Schmitz gets rid of it, and we're going to have a turnover on Manitowoc. Good trap. Aubrey Fisher gets her long arms and able to create the turnover there. As Ava Kinchia checks in for the Ships, as Eichmann's going to grab a seat. Dump down Fisher, and she's quadruple teamed. As everyone but Schmitz came to lend a hand on her, and she's going to draw the foul.
Manitowoc foul number 5, Matthew Johnson, first
Manitowoc has
personal.
some good post
Second
players.
team foul.
That time, though, just a mismatch, I should say, with Fisher on Schmitz.
And the runner by Dwyer. She goes glass with the right hand, and that's Dwyer's first bucket. 14-8. Pere. Schmidt quickly into the front court. Triple on the way by Spaeth. Comes up a little short. Now one's going to roll out of bounds. Pere basketball. Freshman Lila Spaeth showing no fear as she's let a couple go from distance. And Manitowoc full court pressure. Jaden quickly head to Egan. She got caught on her pivot foot, leaning a little bit back as Schmitz is looking ahead to try and nail Peterson? Number 1.
Bolton.
Got it. Thank you.
Washington, Neuenfeld, checking in for your Redbirds.
It's 0 on my roster sheet, but probably looking at the wrong one. Yeah. Number 1. There we go.
It's been interesting to watch each team's press because I feel like they're forcing decisions a lot quicker than what they want. I think both these teams want to be methodical, take their time on offense, but both teams have really pushed it off the floor. And again, here we see another turnover because of those presses.
Yeah, Shushelsic with the pick. We're going to get a turnover as Neuenfeld got a little sped up there, and it's going to be Redbird turnover. 14-8 to Pere. 13 minutes to play here first half as Eichmann checks in for the freshman Lila Spaeth. Bolton working against Shushelsic as a run and jump comes. Able to navigate out of there. Long deuce on the way. This Quinchia comes up a little short on that opportunity, and Tussle quickly in the front court. Going to leave the Washington runner, and she's got her first bucket. Smooth move by the junior as she goes glass, gives her first deuce. Is going to have a turnover on Lincoln. Turnover starting to mount here a little bit early as the Birds are up double, 16-8.
It appears about 4 instances where they've had numbers because of the fact that they get the rebound defensively, and then Manitowoc has 3 people on, 1 or 2 DePere players. And that time DePere had 3 on 2, and they scored on their last possession.
And Neuenfeld is going to draw the foul on, I believe, Ava Quinchia. She's going to pick up her first. It's going to be Manitowoc's third. I think to your point, Greg, when I look at Abby right last year, was really learning that point guard and getting a lot of, splitting minutes on top. But this year, she's just a lot more confident. You see her eyes are up all the time when she's coming up the floor and able to find her teammates.
Yeah. And Manitowoc so far has left Borowski wide open a few times, too. That last, before the ball went out of bounds, she was open in the corner again.
Yeah.
So.
As Tossel's going to draw the foul, she goes in and is going to draw a little contact. She's going to hit the line for a couple. As Kendall Schmitz picks up her first, team's fourth.
At the rate this half's going, DePere's going to be in the bonus for
Good Lord,
a
it's starting
while.
to pile up here a little bit. Oh, they call that on the floor?
Wow.
Oh, geez.
Coach Boyler not happy about that.
Yeah, I'd be a little hot on that one, too.
Kale got the replay over there?
Tussle, a little shot fake, leans into a 16-footer and knocks it down from the baseline. Tussle's up to 5. That is a hard shot, too. Ooh, nearly a turnover by Bolton. Bolton trying to figure out her way out of that one. She's still in the lane. Gets out just in time. Kind of a little crazy runner across the right side from Bolching, comes up long, and the Birds quickly in the front court. As Borowski's going to grab it, and I believe, yeah, Ava Quincia is going to pick up her second.
Maybe a little ticky-tacky because she was going for the ball,
Yeah.
but it's hard not to disagree, hard to agree. I don't know.
Yep. Spaithwater and Fisher in. Yeah, right. There wasn't a whole lot there that was really impacting the play. It's almost like that. Let's have a play on there.
Spade now in 4 minutes left.
Alexa getting some early minutes here. Oh, nice back cut. Got it, and one. Good find by Washington as she hit Neuenfeld on the back door. And she goes window and knocks it off, and she's going to get her first bucket. Miss Kendall Schmidt's going to pick up her second as they've got a little bit of foul trouble here now.
Yeah, you called him, Mark. Good back cut. She was on the weak side. Everybody else was on the way we're looking at the right side of the block, and it was wide open for her.
Yep, that quick pivot, and she found her slash into the goal as Neuenfeld's going to call for a lane violation as she stepped over the line before it went through. So wave off the free throw, 20-8 to Pere. 11 minutes to play here in the first half. Coach Boyle trying to figure out maybe who or where the error was, who did what. Seems to be satisfied with the answer. Quick triple by Seidel. Front rim no good. So rebound comes down to Johnson. She quickly turns it over. Redbirds in the front court. Nope. They got away with a walk there. Dump off to Dwyer, gets rid of it before she turns it over as Kara's going to reset here on the top of the key. See the Bird just a little stagnant when you get Shashelsik and Borowski out of the game. Not quite as fluid on the ball reversal. Maddie Johnson doing a good job of denying Dwyer, and Redbirds turn that over, and in a flash, Bolchin's up the floor.
Johnson's one of Manitowoc's best post defenders. She's one of their better rebounders, too.
Bolchin a little long on the left-hand runner. And we're going to have an offensive rebound by Johnson, but she picked up her pivot foot, call for a travel. Boy, Bolchin is just a bolt of lightning when she gets going. She had a nice crossover there to free up some space, but could not convert.
Manitowoc's throwing up some wild shots here lately. It feels like the last few possessions, they're just forcing and chucking up whatever they want. Got to kind of slow the game down a little bit. They're down 12. Obviously, a lot of ball game to play yet, but can't let the deficit get too much bigger.
And Neuenfeld gets loose on the left side, and she goes right hand off the window, and she's got 4. A little breakdown by the Ships as there is no help side. Quick double over to Bolchin, whips pass. Now it's picked off by Neuenfeld, rolls off her shoulder. It's going to stay here with Manitowoc. And a little dicey cross-court pass there by Bolchin. We're going to have a timeout by Manitowoc, and it is going to be a full timeout as we are going to hear from our sponsors.
Vinyl floors are waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof, so they can stand up to real-life conditions. You'll find the largest selection at Mako's. Do it yourself or trust our guaranteed installation. Mako's, your premier flooring center. Now that's value.
Then it's time for the best pizza in Wisconsin. Get Gallagher's Pizza dine-in, delivery, and all-you-can-eat lunch buffets at any
Greg Bintz clutch with the sponsor read as we had a little delay in the video aspect of the sponsor thank yous, but able to get those out of the way, and we're back to action.
Just going back to that last possession before our break, I tell you what, if Bolton is able to complete the pass down in the paint, Eichmann was wide open, would have had a couple points.
Oh, Spaeth reading that one. She's got the clean pick, dump off to back to Spaeth. Layup, good. Playing a little catch with Dwyer. As Neuenfeld goes for the layup, Spaeth for the layup, and that is her first bucket. 24-8 to Pere.
A little bit of everything there.
Yeah.
She had the steal. She almost had the assist, but then she got the points.
Yep. Ooh, little wild runner as Eichmann goes up. She's going to be the benefactor of a little push, and she's going to line for a couple. You mentioned that too, Greg. It just looks like they're a little, right, they're just kind of out of control. I mean, they're not collecting. They always want to just put the ball on the floor, even when there isn't the opportunity there.
Right. And they just got to slow things down and find a way to get back in the game. I mean, if this keeps going the way it is, the game's going to get on hand pretty quick.
Yeah.
And Manitowoc is obviously a very talented team. I mean, they started 6-0, so they're a quality team. I missed completely.
There you go. Yep, Eichmann did not draw iron on that second one, so we're going to have a violation. Going to be Redbird basketball. As Shashelsik and Borowski check in for DePere. Shashelsik triple on the way, front rim no good. As Johnson comes on with the rebound, she gives that up to Bolt. I'm not sure if that. Yep, Schmitz came away with it. Now Bolchin on the loose. She spin dribble in the middle. Gets that ball knocked out of her hand. Not sure who picked up the foul on that one.
Looks like Shashelsik.
Yeah, looks like Shashelsik. It's going to be her first, team fourth.
If I want to see somebody get going on Manitowoc, it's Schmitz. Nice offensive rebound.
Yep, and one. Lila Spaeth, the big freshman, gets the offensive rebound off of the miss by Eichmann, and she sticks that one back with the right hand. Going to be her first bucket. It's going to be Spaeth's second. As she's going to come out of the game as Tussle checks in. Good minutes by Alexa. Haven't seen a whole lot of her lately, but certainly some quality minutes there. Back rim no good as Maddie Johnson collects the offensive rebound. Ships will reset here in the half court. Dump down to Eichmann as she gets doubled by Fisher. The turnover on Lincoln as DePere is going to handle the ball here right now. Again, Manitowoc picking up full, quick double. Broken easily as Dwyer gets it over to Fisher. Easy layup. Left hand goes Fisher, and she's up to 6, 26-11, DePere.
Again, numbers for DePere that time. They had 3 people down on the offensive side of the floor.
Bolchin with the runner, and she's got her 5th point. DePere doubling up Manitowoc right now, 26-13. Yeah, they're going to have to rotate a little bit quicker on that double because, boy, once you get into Dwyer's hand, it's all over. Could have been a foul there.
They're a little early on the contact.
Oh, they were going to, oh boy. Johnson basically bodied Tussle out of bounds, but there was no call, and Abby had no other place to go but out of bounds. We have a turnover on the Redbirds. Boyle just kind of threw up his hands there. Okay, whatever. Comes that run and jump. Oh, just a second late on the rotation, almost a pick there. And we're going to pick up a travel anyways as Eichmann did a little stutter step there, and she's going to call for the turnover. The body is thinking one thing, right? And the mind's thinking the other with Manitowoc. They're just out of sorts right now. A lot of unforced errors that are costing them big time here in the first half.
Well, a little out of sync, and we've talked about already a little bit. They're trying to find their footing again. 4 straight losses. Got to play cleaner ball.
Yeah. Good take by Dwyer. Going to get an and one opportunity. She rolls it over the front rim. She's up to 4 as Eichmann picks up her second, team 7th. As you mentioned, Greg, a little earlier, they're in the bonus now for the last 6 minutes here of the first half. Dwyer is solid from the line. We're going to have a timeout. 30 seconds. Coach Boyle ties one up as we're going to hear a quick video on our spot.
Then it's time for the best pizza in Wisconsin. Get Gallagher's Pizza dine-in, delivery, and all-you-can-eat lunch buffets at any of our 4 locations. And don't forget to feed the office with our corporate orders. Gallagher's Pizza, the best pizza in Wisconsin.
We are back at De Pere High School in Rod Kowalczyk Court, where the Redbirds have opened up a 16-point lead here, 29-13, 6:09 to play in the first half. As the Birds are looking to extend this to full court. Bolchin quickly wiggles her way out of that double team.
She's so quick.
Yeah, she has one gear, right?
I mean, they do have some unforced turnovers, but they can also work their way out of.
Nice job by Tossel as they almost forced the turnover. Doing a great job. They're probably just going to figure out who picked it up. Ooh, is they're going to give that one to Dwyer. It's going to be her second, team 6th. So Ships will inbound right in front of scores table. As Neuenfeld's going to come in for Dwyer.
Neuenfeld checking in for the Redbirds, replacing Dwyer.
Bolchin quick wiggle to get out of that double team. Birds in some stingy half-court defense here as they force yet another turnover as Neuenfeld hits the ground. They're going to tie her. I'll check that. Actually, possession is going to be going over to Manitowoc.
Coach, what's a foul on that?
Well, maybe not. I don't know. Did she get tripped maybe? I'm not sure. Bolchin will start it off from the top of the key. Closing on 5 minutes to play, 29-13 De Pere. Good close up by Neuenfeld. As that drift pass is going to be knocked out of bounds. The Spaeth could not collect it from Manitowoc. It'll be another turnover on the Ships. 29-13, just under 5 to play here first half.
It's fascinating watching Manitowoc because everything about them is so quick. We talk about their ability to get away out of the double team, but even everything away from the ball, they're always moving. Whoever doesn't have the ball is either always going along the baseline or setting a screen or something, and De Pere has been just as quick with them.
Shelsuk a little crooked on that 3, but the offensive rebound gives them another possession. Avery charging hard down the right side. She's going to draw the foul. I believe that one's going to be on Johnson. Maybe 2 shots. Yes, could be on Johnson. Her second.
Johnson, her second. Team's A. Borowski shooting 2.
And Coach Garb here is just looking to kind of get through this first half. He's got a couple of kids with 2 fouls. Borowski's a little off on that first one. Wilson Seidel's going to check in for Manitowoc. Spandy Johnson's going to grab a seat. You can back rim that second one. Ball's batted around a little bit. Allison Seidel comes away with it. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout by Manitowoc. And we'll hear from our sponsors.
Luxury vinyl floors are waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof, so they can stand up to real-life conditions. You'll find the largest selection at Mako's. Do it yourself or trust our guaranteed installation. Mako's, your premier flooring center. Now that's value.
And we are back to De Pere High School, where the Redbirds are up 16, 29-13. Score hasn't moved a whole lot here in the last minute and a half. Kind of a little bit of a sloppy first half, really for both teams. You know, Manitowoc certainly has not been efficient, to your point, Greg. They're moving, right? They're moving quickly, but sometimes a lot of it just isn't with a purpose. So I think if they kind of slow some of that down, they might have a little more success.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for De Pere, between free throws and then taking advantage of when they have numbers, which they've had probably a half dozen times now, I think, that's really the difference in this game right now.
Yeah.
That and all the turnovers Manitowoc's had. I mean,
Yep. Ooh, quick double off that inbounds as Bolchin clears it, no problem. She finds Spaeth for a long triple back rim, no good as Shashelsik clears. This will be the Redbirds on the push quickly. Finds a running Fisher. Layup good. 45-foot assist from Shashelsik to Fisher. Great look and a great finish. Fisher's up to 8. Kendall Schmitz will reset.
kind of mentioned her as somebody I want to see get going for Manitowoc, help them get back in the game. She averages 13.5 points a game, only 2 tonight so far, been very quiet.
Going to have a turnover as Seidel got called for steps. As Washington's going to check in for Fisher. Tossel, triple, got it. Boy, she has been just on fire the past 4 ball games. As Tussle is up to 8 with that triple. Bolchin kind of weaving her way through traffic. She goes up and she's going to get whacked by Borowski.
Bolchin is like a lightning bolt. It's just so quick up the floor. I mean, it's incredible. She'll break a double team, and a couple possessions ago, found a wide open space, just couldn't hit.
It is first gear to 5th gear, just like that. She misses on the first opportunity. Birds by 21, 34-13. Manitowoc, I believe the Ships have gone about 5 minutes here without a point scored. And there they get that one to break that streak, 34-14. Bolchin's up to 6.
That was a pretty rare free throw miss from her. If you're Manitowoc and you're at the end of a tight game, you want either her or Schmitz at the line. They're their 2 best free throw shooters by far.
Tossel misses the first opportunity, gets her own rebound and sticks it back with the left hand. She's in double figures with 10. Boy, they triple team as Tossel gets a strip. Ooh, and we're going to have a foul on Bolchin as she comes down hard on her back. This Tossel's going to get a 1-on-1 opportunity. She's kind of doubled over there a little bit.
Teams 9. Tussle at the line in the bonus.
Tussle head the line here for the bonus. As they triple team Bolchin, and Tussle got the strip. Front rim no good. As Seidel pulls on a rebound, she's going to get tied up. As Washington gets her mitts on that one, going to be turnover on Lincoln, going back to De Pere.
That triple team is just a sign of a very good in-game adjustment by Coach Boyle. Double team really wasn't working earlier. Triple team and able to force the turnover.
Got to figure a way to slow her down.
Right.
Good slip by Egan, and she gets her first bucket.
Egan Borowski.
Oh, check that. She's up to 7. I'm sorry. I was looking at Shashelsik.
Neither of us were math majors.
Yeah, there
Sorry.
you go. As Schmitz turns it over in front of the Redbird bench. Pere's going to take possession. They've opened up a 24-point lead here. 2:40 to play here first half. You get that corner by Shashelsik as they come off that screen. Usually that one's been pretty good as Kira's going to try and go up, and she fights through a little contact, forces the jump shot, no good, scramble for the rebound. And they're going to give it to Manitowoc as Tussle could not keep that one alive. Boyle runs that set where he gets a couple of dribble handoffs up on top and then runs your shooter along the baseline for that screen. It was covered up that time, and Washington had a decent post opportunity, just couldn't convert. Bolchin gets tied up and just threw it away. Quick up ahead by Neuenfeld as Washington tries to save it as she goes sprawling out of bounds. Going to be turnover on De Pere. Good effort by the junior, trying to keep that one alive as Fisher's going to come in for Neuenfeld. Quick double over to Schmitz as she turns that one over. Redbird basketball is inbound right in front of the visiting parents section. Tussle looking for a way out. She finds Shashelsik in front of the Manitowoc bench. Quick reverse over to Washington. Dump down Fisher, kick to Borowski. Coming right down the middle of the lane, little underhand scoop, and she gets that one to go. She's up to 9, 40 to 14 to Pere. We're going to have yet another turnover as Eichmann lets that one roll between her legs, and that one rolls out of bounds. It'll be turnover on the Ships. Boy, just things kind of coming unraveled here for Manitowoc the past 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that they're this rattled, out of sync, whatever phrase you want to put. I mean, this is a team that started 6-0 and was playing really good basketball up until, I don't know, the last week of December going into break.
Yeah.
So things unraveled not even just the last 4 minutes or so, but the last few games they have.
Borowski in the double figures with the easy layup. She's up to 11. Birds by 28. Nearly a pick by Tussle. That time ball's turned over as Fisher comes away with the steal. Quick push to Tussle. Finds a streaking Washington. Easy look, right hand, a little short on that one. Fights, gets her own rebound, goes window, no good. One more time for Glass, and got it. Kira sticks with it. Third time is the charm as she goes window. She's up to 4, and she's going to head to the line for a free throw. Allison Seidel picks up her first. Team's 10th as Washington heads to the line for 1. She's nothing but the bottom of the net on that opportunity. She's up to 5. And quick double on Bolchin as they do a quick reversal.
What an effort to have several Ships around her and still get 2 rebounds.
Yep.
And then get the end one.
Schmitz with a transition 3 from the top of the key as she's up to 6. Good slip by Fisher, fined by Washington. We're going to have another foul on Manitowoc as Fisher's going to head to the line. Eichmann's going to pick up her third, and Coach Garvey's got some serious foul trouble right now.
Fisher at the line.
So we are not yet out of the first half. Fisher a little short on that front end.
And you talk about Coach Garvey, he's a little frustrated now. You can tell he had his hand in his face there for a second, and certainly his team not playing up to expectations. We were talking about Manitowoc's offensive struggles before the game, and it's really showed up with all the turnovers and just 17 points to show for it. Some of the sloppy shots that they've taken as well.
Fisher splits the free throws. Long three on the way by Eichmann, no good. Jashelsic saves it. We're down to 5. Quick push ahead. Egan going to let a triple go. Back rim, no good. Fisher could have been a foul. She collects the offensive rebound, no good. And we are at halftime, 0's on the clock. The Redbirds, big first half as they go into halftime with a 29-point lead, 46-17 over Manitowoc. We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back probably about 3.5 minutes on the clock with scores from both teams and a little first half analysis. Stay tuned. Welcome back to De Pere High School and Rod Kowalczyk Court. I'm joined here by Greg Benson. We're just going to run down scores for both teams. First for the visiting Ships, Kendall Schmitz and Sarah Bolchin each had 6. Kayla Eichman had 3 and Lila Spaeth had 2 for the Redbirds. Egan Borowski led the way with 11. Abby Tossel had 10. Aubrey Fisher with 9. Good balance up front. Addie Dwyer, Kira Washington both with 5. Allie Neuenfeld with 4 and Alexis Spaeth with 2. So, Greg, yeah, we're talking a little bit, right? I mean, a lot, really, in the first half around Manitowoc. And they've got some guard play, but they just looked out of sorts. And I think it was probably the biggest thing was just the execution of Pere, getting the ball out of their hands and watching other kids make mistakes.
Yeah, it really boils down to a lot of the simple things for them. And I was saying earlier in the half to just kind of slow things down. They were in the game. It was 20-8.
Yeah.
And things weren't completely out of hand yet. De Pere went a little while without really scoring a lot. So Manitowoc has had their chances, but for whatever reason, this is the 5th game in a row where Manitowoc has kind of struggled they have struggled offensively.
Yeah.
And it's been a huge reason why they've lost 4 in a row going into tonight. So I think just, you're down 29, so a long way to go. Up a really big uphill battle for them. But slow things down, limit the turnovers, and they've done a decent job breaking the press. It's after that they're just, they're chucking up some kind of bad shots and just a lot of little things to clean up. The Pere obviously just keep doing what they're doing. The press has worked. We saw Coach Boyle make the adjustment from doubling Bolchin from going from a double team to a triple team. So De Pere, both ends of the floor, they've been doing a really good job. Manitowoc, just a lot of the simple things to clean up.
Yeah. And like you said, it's one thing when you see that pressure and they so badly want to just go fast. Mm-hmm. But it's like other kids aren't prepared, and the kids who want to go fast, it's like they weren't accurate with passes. They weren't pass faking and looking maybe to, slice through some of those double teams. They were just, okay, I got it, now I got to get rid of it. And that's just where things really began to get unhinged for them. And it was just turnover after turnover. And like you said, it went from a 12-point game. All of a sudden, gee whiz, we're at 20 points. And now, in a lot of ways, this game is out of control right now. I mean, it's the Pere up by, 29 going here in the second half. It'll be interesting to see how De Pere can maintain that intensity, right, with this big lead. But they've really looked good here in the first half. And when they did force turnovers, they got a lot of easy looks in transition as well.
And Manitowoc's done a good job, too. They've certainly had some open shots. We saw Spaeth for them. Lila Spaeth. There's 2 Spaeths here tonight. Yep. Saw Spaeth get open for a couple of 3-point shots and just came up a little short, not falling.
And we are back to action as Lincoln will get the first shot here in the second half. Quick spin as Schmitz will take an opportunity from 3, no good as Bolchin tracks on the rebound. And she's going to step on the line, going to be turnover Lincoln, as some good hustle there by the Ships. And I'm sure Coach Garby, he just kind of, I would guess if I was in that halftime, probably just girls settle down. We don't need to play that fast. And here's an opportunity. You can see the intensity, but certainly another one of those unforced errors.
I gotta imagine they'll make some changes because what they were doing in the first half, it didn't appear they were trying to change how fast the tempo of the game they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
But down 29, you got to find a way to get back in this game.
Pere's had a pretty easy time with their offense, a lot of side, top side. There's an easy look from Borowski down to Fisher. Going to window right, couple of times side, top side, and all of a sudden, bingo, easy layup. This Tussel's going to get called for the reach here in the backcourt.
Rubber foul number 2, Abby Tussle, her second, team's first.
That is Abby's second foul, team's first. Ships break the pressure. Transition 3 by Spaeth, back rim no good. Quinchia comes down with the rebound. Ships will reset here. Quinchia's going to let one go from the top of the key and rattle that one in. Because that is her first bucket, 48-20 to Pere, 16:40 to play here in the ball game. Dwyer and Fisher playing a little two-person game as Fisher a little long on that back rim. Ships will regroup and push front court. Schmitz will reset here in the half court.
Could hear Coach Garvey yelling, eyes up, eyes up, eyes up. And I think that's was part of the other problem, too, in the first half is they're so worried about the next move. They're pump faking a three or just looking to get rid of the ball right away. Keep your eyes up and see who actually is open.
Corner three by Quinchia. No good offensive rebound. Scrap for it, and that thing is going to go to. No hand signal, but everybody's walking down towards the pier, so it's going to be Redbird basketball as Eichmann checks in for Kendall Schmitz. So Lincoln a little more aggressive on the offensive glass. They've gotten 3 offensive rebounds here early. Tussle wiggles out of that, double over to Shishelsik. Borowski, little step through and gets it to go off the window. Nice play by the senior. Looked like she was going to get covered up there by 3 Ships, but was able to wiggle through and knock that one off the window as Johnson picks up her third. Egan's up to 13.
Borowski just weaving her way through the defense. That's a few times now. It looks like she's going to get stopped or blocked or something. And
pick up the pivot foot, one of those things.
Yeah.
She converts 3-point play. Birds by 31. Dump down. Quinchia gets stripped, and she's going to get tied up as there's players going to the floor as we've got a jump ball. And that one is going to go to DePere.
I think Quinchia got
okay.
the worst of that collision, but
Birds will reset here as Tassel going against Bolchin here in the front court as she passes the timeline right on top of the Redbird logo. Quick dump down to Fisher, finds a cutting Tussle, easy stuff. Right hand for Abby as she is up to 12, 53-20 to Pere. Bolchin a little out of control with the right hand. Because they're going to get Egan, I guess, with a foul. It's going to be her second.
Kind of another out of control shot by Bolchin.
Yeah, big time.
Unforced, too.
Gonna have the clean strip as Jaden picks that one apart. Egan picks up the loose change, and they're going to reset here in the half court. Abby with the blow by, left hand, got it and one. As the 5'5" junior goes glass, and she's up to 14 as Eichmann picks up her fourth.
I'd love to see the number of points DePere has in the paint. It feels like everything they're doing is inside the block. And whether it's been rebounding or forcing a turnover or just driving down there or breaking a press, it feels like every time they're down in the paint.
As that ball looked like Dwyer got her hands on that one's going to be tipped off of Eichmann as she ends up knocking it out of bounds. Turnover Ships. I mean, DePere's getting really whatever they want. They're getting side top side. There's really not a lot of resistance with that reversal. And as soon as you get that thing moving a couple of times, and all kinds of opportunities open up a dribble drive or cuts.
I mean, there's been multiple times where DePere has been trapped, but they have the numbers down the floor, and they've been able to convert on that too. They haven't even had to hardly attempt three-point field goals, it feels like.
Birds by 35, just under 14 to play here in the ball game. Egan on the slip, it's going to be turned over. Maybe not yet. Now we're going to have a jump ball. Okay, now we're going to have a turnover. As Egan could not handle that one, a little frustrated with herself.
Johnson checking in for Mentor.
As Maddie Johnson checks in for the Ships as Eichmann's going to grab a seat with 4 fouls. Another turnover by Lincoln as Egan collects it. Nice dump off. Dwyer window, nice left-hand bounce pass by Tossel. As Dwyer's up to 7, Birds by 37. Certainly unexpected. I think we were both thinking this thing was going to be a lot more competitive than this. Triple on the way by Spaeth, comes up short as Tussle collects. Head up, quick pass ahead. Over to Fisher, runner window, good. Assist to Tussle as the Birds have blown this thing wide open, up 39-20. Closing in on 13 to play here in the ball game.
It's at the point now, too, where De Pere's just like out running Manitowoc. They're just the faster team. They're beating them in every phase of the game right now.
Sarah Bolchin goes window on there to stop the bleeding a little bit. Corner triple, Dwyer, nothing but the bottom of the net. Good feed by Shelsik as Dwyer knocks on a triple. She's into double figures. Timeout, Manitowoc. The Birds have opened up a 40-point lead, 62-22, and we are going to hear from our sponsors.
Then it's time for the best pizza in Wisconsin. Get Gallagher's Pizza dine-in, delivery, and all-you-can-eat lunch buffets at any of our 4 locations. And don't forget to feed the office with our corporate orders. Gallagher's Pizza, the best pizza in Wisconsin.
Luxury vinyl floors are waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof, so they can stand up to real-life conditions. You'll find the largest selection at Mako's. Do it yourself or trust our guaranteed installation. Mako's, your premier flooring center. Now that's value.
And we would like to thank once again our Redbird sponsors for supporting boys and girls basketball here at De Pere, Green Bay Family Dentistry, Nicolay Bank, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Muleman's Electric, Greystone Ale House, Harmon Studios, Chicago Street Pub, Mako's Floor Covering Center, Gallagher's, and Exhaust Pros.
I may have saved you with that read, but you gave me this sheet too.
Oh, so. That's right. Okay, all right.
So you got to save yourself in a way.
I got more stuff in my portfolio than any person should probably have. I probably got rosters from like 3 years ago in that thing, but I keep saying you never know when you're going to need that.
Yeah. That might be why you got the number wrong earlier, too.
Triple by Kunchia knocks down that one in front of the Manitowoc bench. She's up to 6. Birds by 37, just passing the 12-minute mark here in the ball game. Neuenfeld dragged her pivot. The turnover on the Redbirds. Spaeth and Neuenfeld and Washington check in for De Pere. Bolchin long 3 on the way, no good as Shelsik battles for the rebound and pulls it down. Boy, they have done a great job on Bolchin and only had 8. Really limited her opportunities so far, and I believe Schmitz only has 6, if I'm not mistaken. I know she's out right now. Oh, no, she's on the floor. Yep, she's got 6. Flip reversal, Spaeth triple in front of the Redbird bench, no good. And that rebound comes down to Spaeth. Quick push ahead as Bolchin's going to have a run out for the layup. Check that, she overlays it. It's going to be tapped out of bounds by Spaeth. Certainly Bolchin's frustrated with herself on that one. Nice little wiggle down the lane by Kendall Schmitz, so she's going to pick up an opportunity to head for line for a couple as she draws the foul. As Neuenfeld picks up her first. It's Haley Gerlikowski. 6-foot junior is going to check in for the Redbirds.
It's pretty remarkable. I mean, Manitowoc's got a lot of turnovers, obviously. We've talked about that. But De Pere's also played pretty good defense, and it's remarkable to think that Bolton averages 16 a game. And she has, what, 5, I think?
5 or 6, yeah.
And it looks like she has 8, actually. I'm off on my math that time. She's got 8 points. And then Schmitz averages almost 14 a game. She has 6. And then Taylor Peterson averages 12.5. I'm not sure she's played tonight. Don't know why, but she also averages just shy of 13 points a game. So there's a lot of offense to be seen for Manitowoc, and we just haven't gotten that from them tonight.
Yeah. Spieth with a transition miss on that 3. As Neufeld had a layup earlier, and also Kendall Schmitz had a layup earlier for the Ships. As Kulikowski is going to draw a foul. She's going to the line for a couple.
Foul number 12, Ava Pinchia, her third.
Pinchia picks up her third, team's third.
Kulikowski shooting 2.
A little strong on that first one. As Eichmann checks in for the Ships.
Checking in for the Shipbuilders.
Spieth is going to head to the bench. Back rim, almost the same spot on that miss. 0 for 2 from the line for Kulikowski. Quick dump off as Pinchia's going to let go a triple front rim, no good. Long rebound comes down to Bolchin. And that long drift was batted down by Eichmann. I believe Washington got her hands at it, but then Eichmann turned it over. She could not recover and knock that one out of bounds. It's going to be Redbird basketball. Neufeld, triple. Back rim, no good. Johnson clears for the Ships. Kendall Schmidt, quick push. Alexis Spaeth keeping her under her wraps. As Eichmann goes window and actually throws that one off the underside of the backboard. And we're going to have a foul on Manitowoc. Mandy Johnson picks up her 4th.
Transition foul there, trying to stop Spaeth from going up and down the floor.
You know, one thing that we talk a whole lot, Alexis Spaeth, the 5'2 sophomore, getting some really good minutes here tonight. She's played sparingly so far this season, but certainly getting some good minutes under her belt that hopefully will help Pere as they move a little bit further into the season. Oh, Spaeth wiggles her way out of that one, finds Neufeld, a freshman, who goes window, and she is up to 8, 66-28 to Pere.
Talk about Spaeth getting the minutes. It's one thing to get minutes. It's also another thing to play like really good basketball during those minutes.
Right. As Schmitz goes window and wiggles her way for a layup. But yeah, to your point, Greg, it's one thing that you're in, but you're producing. You know, not turning the ball over, finding teammates. Neufeld, left side, closing on 8:30 to play. Birds by 36, 66-30. A couple more subs as looks like Dwyer and Fisher are going to be checking back in. Birds certainly content to look for a really good shot. Dump down, nice. Good feed by Shishelsik as she finds Haley Gerlowski with her defender pinned on her hip and goes window. That's her first bucket as the Pere gets a 30-second timeout. We're going to hear from our sponsors.
Then it's time for the best pizza in Wisconsin. Get Gallagher's Pizza dine-in, delivery, and all-you-can-eat lunch buffets at any of our 4 locations. And don't forget to feed the office with our corporate orders. Gallagher's Pizza, the best pizza in Wisconsin.
All right, and up next for the Redbirds, after tonight, we talked a little bit about that pregame. They play a couple of road games coming up this Friday at Ashwaubenon, and the following Tuesday at Green Bay Preble before hosting Pulaski a week from this Friday. And also hosting Sheboygan South the following Tuesday on January 21st before they head over, not looking too far ahead, but January 25th they head over to Notre Dame for that second meeting with the Tritons on Saturday, January 25th.
Ashwaubenon record-wise, that's who De Pere plays on Friday. They're pretty similar to Manitowoc.
Yeah, again, Garasio is the one you got to watch out for Ashwaubenon, keeping her under wraps as Tussle and Borowski in for Washington and Neufeld. Schmidt's right hand, she's going to draw the foul, head to the line for a couple. Nice little shot fake and exploded to the lane.
Redbird foul number 12, Aubrey Fisher.
Fisher's going to pick up her first, team's fourth.
Schmitz. At the line.
And after the game here tonight with De Pere, Manitowoc goes to Southwest, who has really struggled this year, this Friday. Then they host Pulaski next Tuesday and Sheboygan South next Friday. So certainly 3 very winnable games for the Ships. And let's see if they can kind of correct this. Nice look, Spaeth from Dwyer. And a nice feed and flash by Spaeth. As Bolchin goes down right hand and Borowski's going to whack her on the arm.
I think for the Ships, and obviously we've been talking about all the things that they need to clean up, a lot of the simple things, but really for them to get back on track, it's going to take one game. Get a win, and everything will probably start to get better after that. That's all it takes for a good team to get back on track.
Right. Bolchin's up to 11 as she gets the first one to go. And she is good on the second. She's got a dozen. Birds by 36. As that ball's batted around and last off of a Ship. So Redbirds will inbound right in front of the Redbird bench. 70-34 to Pere, 7:12 to play here in the ball game. Back cut as Dwyer's going to get that one knocked off of her hands. If we turn over Manitowoc, or excuse me, De Pere. Ships are going to take control here.
De Pere's really taking advantage of those backdoor cuts. A few times we saw that in the first half.
Boy, they just had a lot of issues looking to dump balls out once they get a little too deep in that area. As Dwyer to Fisher connection. Little 6-foot runner for Fisher, and she's up to 15. Bolchin, pretty athletic move, can't get the right-hander to go. As Tussel's going to take a peek, and she dumps off to Dwyer. There she finds a cutting Fisher layup. Dwyer with a couple assists here as of late as Fisher's up to 17.
Let's look at the scoreboard and how many Redbirds are in double figures. 17, 10, 14, 14. I mean, De Pere's not only been good at scoring this year, they've been spreading the wealth too.
Yeah.
Luxury vinyl floors are waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof, so they can stand up to real-life conditions. You'll find the largest selection at Mako's. Do it yourself or trust our guaranteed installation. Mako's, your premier flooring center. Now that's value.
And we are at that 40-point threshold, so it looks like we're going to have running clock once we get back to action on any dead ball other than timeouts. We're going to have a running clock as the Birds are up 40, 6:15 to play here in the ballgame. I know we talked a little bit about this, Greg. I made a touch on it, maybe early in the season, as we're kind of looking here at the halfway point for Division I basketball in the state tournament, that sectional 2 that De Pere's in. We're kind of talking about this little before we went on the air. 6 of the top 10 teams right now, right, according to WIS Sports and their top 10 poll, 6 of the top 10 in the state are in that sectional, which is absolutely crazy as Bolchin misses from 3 and Fisher collects the rebound. It is just absolutely a brutal, brutal sectional where you've got Pewaukee, who's the number 1 team in the state, and Kimberly, who is number 2 that De Pere lost to earlier this year. One of those 2 teams are not going to make it to the state tournament, which is an absolute crime because you've got the best teams in this sectional, and again, one of them is only going to represent that sectional at the state tournament. It's just unfortunate, and I get it, that's the way it works, but just a terrible, terrible way to see girls basketball being played, and no disrespect to other teams, but there just isn't the quality in other sectionals, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're saying Kimberly and Pewaukee were probably going to be the state, final state championship game potentially if things played out that way.
Yep.
And so, I guess it's kind of a good problem, but again, you're going to have great teams that probably deserve to be in the state championship game potentially that won't make it there, and it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of talk about that, not just with basketball, but last how many years now? A few years at least. The same conversation's been said about football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Neuenfeld's going to reset over here to Spaeth. Shelsik, right hand runner, sweet.
First points in the game.
That's her first bucket, yeah.
Wild.
The Birds up 42 as we're just going to have a substitution timeout if Shelsik is going to come out of the game. One thing you talk about that balance with scoring, Abby Tussle leads the Birds coming into the game 12.7. And then you've got Audrey Fish at 11.7, Shelsik 11.4, Egan at 10.1, Addie Dwyer at 9.6, Allie at 7 points. So you've got multiple kids that can hurt you, and they just do a good job of spreading it around.
Right.
Alexa with a nice little crossover. She's looking to find her teammate, Gerlikowski, but she lost the handle on that dribble, getting a call for a travel.
She had 3 other teammates. It's hard to choose who to pass the ball to.
Bolchin on the blow by, doesn't get that one to go as Washington comes down. She's going to push right side, right hand all the way. Front rim, back rim, no good. Ball battle with Brown. Spaeth comes down with the rebound. I apologize, I missed Peyton Muehlman's checking into the game. Sophomore as that ball is turned over. As Bolchin's going to come out of the fray with it. Nice little step through from Maddie Johnson, and she gets that one to go. That is her first bucket. And again, we're going to have a substitution timeout. As Jenna Halston and Jalen Craig check in for the Redbirds as Neuenfeld and Washington are going to grab a seat. Coach Boyle emptying the bench as everyone's going to see some time here tonight. Birds up 40, 76-36. Nice play. Peyton Muehlman's with her first varsity bucket. As she goes window. Nice play by the sophomore, showing no fear there. And we're going to have another substitution timeout by Manitowoc as Kayla Eichmann is going to check in. And Lila Spaeth's night might be finished. Really good defense by Neuenfeld. Check that by Muhlmans as she gets Bolchin to go up for a tough shot.
I think if De Pere makes it really far this year, which there's a realistic shot, I think their defense is going to be a big reason for that. They play very sound defense. It doesn't matter who they play. You can pretty much trust their defense on any possession.
Yeah, no doubt. That's certainly been their calling card. I mean, they certainly have some offensive tools as well, but they play really solid half-court defense. You know, really good, just awareness of who needs to be guarded and when. That ball's batted around underneath as Chill, I believe, knocks that one off of, might have been Craig's foot, as we're under a minute. Birds by 42.
See if Manitowoc can finish the game strong here.
Long triple on the way. That one's in and out by Bolchin. You're going to have a scrum for the rebound as Maddie Johnson comes down with it, and they're going to give her an opportunity. Nope, we're not going to have free throws here. It's only team sixth. As Halston picks up her first, team sixth.
There you go.
Chia goes window and throws that one off the backboard. Stop clock at 12.8. She's up to 6. Check that, she's up to 8. 78-38. Alston picks up her second foul. She's good on the second, giving her 9. Oh, that's going to be De Pere's basketball. That's not Manitowoc's.
That's one way to get back in the game.
There you go. Alexis Spaeth is going to break the timeline. Drive down middle lane. That one's going to roll out of bounds, and we are at zeros on the clock. As De Pere led from start to finish, and they roll to the 39-point win, 78-39, as the Redbirds got out big and early as they cruise to the simple win. Thoughts, comments?
I mean, pretty simple. De Pere, it was kind of close to begin the game, but Manitowoc got into a really bad habit of turning the ball over, and it just kind of led to a bigger lead for De Pere because they took advantage of the mistakes. And De Pere kind of was on cruise control, I'd say, for probably the last 20, 25 minutes of this game, it felt like. Manitowoc did a little bit better in the second half, but obviously not enough to overcome the lead. De Pere blew the game open really quick.
Yeah.
And we touched on that coming into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it was 20-8. You thought, okay, they got a little bit of an opportunity, but just turnover after turnover after turnover.
Right.
Couldn't recover from that. So, yeah, so 78-39, Redbirds win. And again, next home ball game for the Redbirds is going to be a week from this Friday when we host the Red Raiders from Pulaski. So for studio engineer Cale Coleman, Greg Bintz, my name is Mark Mino. Thank you for tuning in tonight as the Redbirds win from start to finish 78-39 over Manitowoc. Thank you and have a great night.